Before the world begins to move around you, before responsibilities rise, before your mind begins to race with plans and concerns, there is a sacred moment, a doorway between night and day, where your entire life can shift. A moment when the world has not yet impressed itself upon you, and your consciousness stands open, receptive, uncluttered, ready to be shaped by intention rather than habit. This moment, the first breath of morning, the first stirring of awareness, is the most powerful moment of your day. For in this quiet threshold between dreaming and waking, you are closest to your true self, the self not defined by circumstances, not limited by memory, not weighed down by yesterday's assumptions. Here, in this stillness, you stand as the pure image of God, the consciousness through which creation flows, the vessel through which divine intention becomes visible form. This is why Scripture says, His mercies are new every morning, not because God changes, but because you awaken new each day, invited once again to remember who you truly are. So every morning, before you rise, before you check your phone, before you rehearse problems or revisit old patterns, listen to this and let the truth settle into the deepest chambers of your being. For this is not motivation, this is not hype, this is not fleeting inspiration. This is remembrance, recalibration, realignment with the divine pattern. This is the voice that calls you back to yourself, to the self God imagined, to the self your soul recognizes, to the self your spirit longs to inhabit fully. So breathe now, in slowly and out slowly, and let this thought settle. Today, I begin from within. Today, I begin with consciousness. Today, I begin with God. Because before anything in your life can change, before any manifestation can appear, before any prayer can be fulfilled, your inner state must align with the truth. And that truth is simple, eternal, unshakable. I create my world from the inside out, not the other way around. Not from circumstances, not from history, not from the opinions of others, not from fear or doubt. Every morning offers you a blank canvas. And what you choose to believe in these first moments will echo through the hours ahead. Science confirms what Scripture revealed long before. Your brain, in these early waking moments, is in the most suggestible state of the day. Your subconscious is open, your imagination is sensitive, your emotional frequency is malleable. What you impress upon your consciousness now becomes the seed of your entire day. So listen closely, feel deeply. Allow this truth to become the foundation upon which you stand. I am not at the mercy of life. Life responds to me. Life mirrors me. Life obeys the state I occupy. And today, I choose a higher state. Today, I choose to remember the power within me, the power God woven into my being, when He breathed His Spirit into my lungs and called me His own. For Christ did not come to show you what God could do. He came to show you what God could do through you. He said, the kingdom of God is within you, because the power to shape your reality does not lie in circumstance, but in consciousness. And so, as the morning light rises, you rise with it, not only physically, but spiritually, emotionally, energetically. This is the hour of alignment. This is the hour of intention. This is the hour where belief becomes the architect of your day. So now, as the stillness envelops you, as your awareness sharpens, as the inner world opens, let us move deeper into the truth that will guide your day and transform your life from the inside out. As the light of this new day begins to touch your awareness, let your inner being awaken to a greater truth. You are not beginning your day from zero. You are beginning your day from consciousness. Before your feet ever touch the floor, before you step into routines or responsibilities, you are stepping into a state, a spiritual vibration, an inner atmosphere, a belief structure that will shape every conversation, every opportunity, every reaction, every unfolding moment. This is why the morning matters. This is why intentionality matters. This is why the first words spoken inwardly carry immeasurable power. Because your day is not determined by what happens, but by who you are being when things happen. Your inner state sets the tone for the world you walk into. Scripture says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This renewing is not an intellectual exercise. It is a spiritual repositioning, a rising into the mind of Christ, A shift from fear to faith, from doubt to certainty, from reaction to creation. Every morning, you are invited to leave behind the version of yourself that lived yesterday and awaken the version of yourself that God calls you to be today. But to awaken this version, you must understand something profound. Your imagination is not fantasy, it is creation. Neville Goddard taught what Scripture affirmed, that imagination is the divine faculty through which God speaks. When God said, "Let there be light," creation did not begin with sound. It began with intention, with vision, with the image of what should be. So too does your day begin, with the image you hold of yourself. When you awaken with a sense of burden, your day mirrors heaviness. When you awaken with gratitude, your day multiplies blessings. When you awaken with confidence, opportunities recognize you. When you awaken with fear, challenges amplify themselves. Not because the world changed, but because the state you occupy determines the reality you perceive. This is the spiritual science of consciousness. Your nervous system is scanning the world at all times, looking for evidence of your beliefs. Your mind filters reality based on the assumptions you hold. Your emotions vibrate at frequencies that attract experiences, matching their tone. So hear this clearly. Your inner world is not passive. It is directive. It instructs the outer world in every moment. And this is why the morning is the most important part of your entire life. Because in these quiet minutes, before the world's noise invades your mind, you have the power to choose exactly who you will be today. Not by forcing, but by aligning. Not by trying, but by remembering. Not by pushing, but by accepting the truth that God has been whispering into your spirit from the moment He formed you. All that I am, I place within you. Duster, let that settle into your chest. Let it echo through your heart. Let it become the pulse beneath your breath. You are not an observer of life. You are a participant in divine creation. You are not powerless. You are not small. You are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are not an accidental being placed into a chaotic world. You are consciousness. You are intention. You are spiritual authority housed in physical form. And your day is shaped not by what lies ahead of you, but by what rises within you. So now, let this morning become sacred. Let it become holy. Let it become the moment when you remember your true nature. Take one more breath. Deep, slow, intentional. And as you exhale, release the identity you carried yesterday. The doubts, the fears, the old stories, the assumptions that weighed you down, the habits that no longer reflect your higher self. Let them fall away, like night dissolving into dawn. For God has given you this morning, not as a repetition, but as a rebirth. You are being invited to choose again, to see again, to believe again, to begin again from a place of awakened authority. And now your spirit is ready to rise even further. Now that your spirit has awakened and your mind has quieted enough to receive truth, let us step deeper into the mystery that determines the outcome of every day you live. You do not meet the day. You create the day, not through effort, not through force, not through anxious planning, but through the quality of consciousness you carry into each moment. Your consciousness is the cause. Your day is the effect. When you understand this, morning becomes more than a routine. It becomes a ceremony of creation. For the world you will walk through today is already being shaped by the thoughts you accept, the feelings you nurture, the state of being you choose right now. So ask yourself gently, without judgment, what am I choosing to believe about myself today? Not yesterday, not last week, not during the hardest chapter of your life, but today, because the you that woke up this morning is not the same you who went to sleep last night. Something changed, something softened, something awakened, something rose within you. This is the grace of morning. The grace that renews identity, that lifts the weary soul, that whispers into your heart, you may begin again. So begin by choosing your state. Choose peace. Choose clarity. Choose gratitude. Choose expectancy. Choose the identity God placed in you before the foundations of the world. Do not wait to feel ready. Do not wait for external confirmation. Do not wait for circumstances to shift. Your inner shift is the cause of outer change. Neville Goddard taught, "Your world is what you believe it to be." Christ taught the same truth. "Be it unto you according to your faith." Faith is not religious sentiment. Faith is inner assumption. Faith is the quiet, unwavering acceptance that what God has placed in your heart is already accomplished in spirit. So let your faith set the tone for the day. Let faith rise in you like light emerging over horizon. Let it settle into your bones, into your breath, into the space behind your eyes. Let it become the lens through which you see all things. For what you believe, deeply, emotionally, consistently, is precisely what you will perceive. And what you perceive is precisely what you will experience. This is not superstition. This is not magical thinking. This is the science of consciousness and the spiritual law of existence. Your brain filters reality based on the meaning you assign to it. Your nervous system responds according to the story you tell yourself. Your inner state radiates signals that influence behavior, perception, and opportunity. So if you want a different day, you must enter a different state. This is the work of mornings. This is the purpose of this moment. This is why you are listening now, because today has not yet been written. Today has not yet taken shape. Today is still clay in your hands. And you, through the authority of your inner world, will decide its form. So let us choose that form carefully, intentionally, with reverence for the divine power within you. Begin by affirming quietly within yourself, "I am not defined by yesterday. I am defined by who I choose to be today." Feel the truth of that. Feel it in your chest, in your breath, in the stillness between words. Identity is not fixed. Identity is chosen. And every morning, you are free to choose again. So choose the version of yourself God sees, the strong one, the wise one, the loving one, the healed one, the abundant one, the confident one, the creative one, the spiritually awake one, because that version already exists within you, waiting for your belief to grant it expression. You do not need to create this self. You only need to uncover it. You do not need to become this self. You only need to allow it. You do not need to earn this self. It is already your inheritance. Christ said, "You are the light of the world." Not you will become, not you might someday be, but you are. Identity precedes evidence. Identity precedes manifestation. Identity precedes behavior. Who you believe yourself to be determines what you expect. What you expect determines what you perceive. What you perceive determines what you receive. So this morning, let identity be your foundation. Let identity be your prayer. Let identity be your alignment with divine law. Say inwardly, "Today, I walk as the version of myself that God intended." Again, "Today I walk as the version of myself that God intended." Let it become a vibration. Let it become a knowing. Let it become the atmosphere around you. For once identity settles, everything else aligns. Your day bends toward your state with absolute obedience. And you will begin to notice that the more you start your day in identity, the less you find yourself shaken by circumstances, the less you fall into old emotional loops, the less you drift unconsciously through your hours. You become anchored. You become steady. You become luminous in spirit. You walk into the day with a peace the world cannot give and a confidence it cannot take. Now, let us continue even deeper. Now, as the morning quiet surrounds you like a soft mantle, you are ready to enter the most transformative part of this ritual, the part where you consciously instruct your day from a place of spiritual authority and inner clarity. For the greatest secret of creation is this: your day does not begin when you walk into it. Your day begins when you declare it. What you assume in advance becomes the path you walk. What you expect emotionally becomes the reality you encounter. What you believe within becomes the pattern life reveals without. This is why the prophets spoke in certainty, why Christ declared outcomes before they appeared, why masters of consciousness treat imagination as the womb of creation rather than fantasy. Because the state you establish in the morning becomes the signal through which life responds to you. So before the world speaks to you, you speak to the world. Before circumstances shape you, you shape the atmosphere in which circumstances unfold. This is the law. This is the pattern. This is the divine structure God embedded in reality. You are not here to react to the day. You are here to command it, not through force, but through alignment with the truth of who you are. So now, in this sacred moment, we speak the truth of your day, not as wishful thinking, not as good ideas, not as spiritual decoration, but as the creative decree of your consciousness. Let your inner voice affirm, today my mind is clear. Today my heart is steady. Today my spirit is aligned. Today I choose faith over fear. Today I walk in favor. Today I expect goodness. Today I release all resistance. Today I am open to blessings I cannot yet see. Let those words wash over you like warm sunlight. Let them settle into the field of your awareness. Let them become not merely a statement, but a state, because the moment a statement becomes a state, manifestation becomes inevitable. You see, the subconscious cannot distinguish between what is real and what is vividly accepted as truth. It only responds to feeling, to assumption, to the emotional tone you carry without contradiction. So when you speak these words in the morning, you are not trying to convince yourself, you are instructing the deepest part of your consciousness to create a day that matches your inner alignment. This is divine psychology. This is spiritual science. This is the fusion of scripture and intuition. You shall decree a thing, and it shall be established unto you. You decree not with your lips, but with your belief. Your belief is the decree. Your belief is the command. Your belief is the seed planted in the soil of the unseen. And God, who honors his laws, causes the seed to grow. So now, we go further. We rise higher. We enter the emotional dimension, where belief deepens into embodiment. For your affirmations do not take root until feeling enters the body. Feeling is the language of the subconscious. Feeling is the vibration the universe responds to. Feeling is the evidence of belief. So now, bring feeling into what you have declared. Feel how magnificent it is to move through your day with inner certainty. Feel the calm that radiates from the center of your being. Feel the strength of knowing you do not walk alone. Feel the clarity of a mind unburdened by worry. Feel the ease of a heart not entangled in old fears. Feel the lightness of a spirit aligned with divine flow. Allow yourself to feel the state of the fulfilled day, not at the end of the day, but at the beginning. You are rehearsing the vibration that your day will mirror back to you, because your day does not respond to your wishes. It responds to your state. So choose the state, feel the state, live in the state, and the state will shape your day effortlessly. This is the power of the morning. This is the difference between drifting and creating. This is the shift from unconscious living to conscious manifestation. Now breathe. Slow, steady, deliberate. As you inhale, imagine God filling you with new strength. As you exhale, release every doubt that is not yours to carry. Feel the presence of divine intelligence moving gently through you, aligning your mind, settling your heart, whispering guidance into your inner ear. This is not imagination alone. This is communion. This is the place where belief merges with identity, and identity merges with destiny. And your day is now becoming shaped by the self you are choosing to awaken. Now, as your awareness sharpens and your inner world becomes luminous, you stand on the threshold of the most powerful realization a human being can awaken to. The world you will walk into today is already responding to the state you are in right now, not later, not when opportunities appear, not when you encounter challenges, not when circumstances unfold. Right now, in this moment, as you breathe, your state is speaking to life long before you speak to anyone else. Your vibration is announcing itself long before you take your first step out the door. Your assumptions, the quiet ones, the deep ones, the emotional ones, have already begun to shape the quality of your day. This is why mornings are sacred. This is why mornings are powerful. And this is why listening to words of truth, stillness, identity, faith, and alignment before the day begins can redirect the entire course of your life. Because consciousness comes first, reality follows. This is the divine sequence. So now, as your inner world strengthens, as your beliefs become clearer, as the mind of Christ settles into you with peace and precision, let us declare the truth. Your day is ready to obey. Speak gently within yourself. Today, I move with purpose. Today, I walk in favor. Today, my steps are ordered. Today, I expect beauty. Today, I choose peace. Today, everything works together for my good. In so way, say it again, not loudly, not forcefully, but with the calm authority of one who knows these words are spiritual laws taking form, because intention spoken in alignment is not a request. It is a decree. The universe rearranges itself according to the identity you stand in. Your mind is no longer scattered. Your emotions are no longer fragile. Your vision is no longer clouded. You are awake. You are aligned. You are steady. You are held. And now you begin to realize something extraordinary, something few people ever pause long enough to perceive. Today is not happening to you. You are happening to today. Your energy will shift rooms. Your presence will influence conversations. Your peace will soften tension. Your clarity will guide decisions. Your joy will magnetize the right people. Your compassion will open hearts. Your confidence will unlock opportunity. You are not entering the day as a passive participant. You are entering as a spiritual architect. Everything you touch today will be shaped by the consciousness you carry. This is your gift to the world. This is the light Christ said you are. This is the purpose of awakening in the morning, with intention rather than habit. For the mind that begins the day with truth cannot be shaken by lies. The heart that begins the day with gratitude cannot be broken by disappointment. The spirit that begins the day in alignment cannot be pulled into chaos. You are the one who sets the tone. You are the one who carries the vibration. You are the one who decides how deeply you allow God to move through you today. And God is always ready, always whispering, always guiding, always aligning. But you must tune your inner ear to the frequency where His voice is clearest. That frequency is belief. That frequency is stillness. That frequency is identity. That frequency is gratitude. That frequency is divine expectation. So now, let us rise into the highest alignment of the morning, the state from which your day will naturally unfold with grace. Take a slow breath, hold it, exhale gently, and allow yourself to enter the state of receiving, not receiving from lack, not receiving from need, not receiving from desperation, receiving because God gives freely, receiving because you are aligned, receiving because you are open, receiving because you are worthy. Let these words become the atmosphere around your spirit. Today, I receive guidance. Today, I receive provision. Today, I receive clarity. Today, I receive peace. Today, I receive opportunity. Today, I receive everything that is aligned with my highest purpose. Feel the weight of that. Feel how your body softens as your spirit opens. Feel how your heart expands as resistance dissolves. Feel how your mind clears as trust rises naturally. This is the posture of one who knows that life is not scarce, that blessings are not rare, that favor is not random, that God is not distant. This is the posture of one who understands divine law, who recognizes inner authority, who believes not because they see, but sees because they believe. And this posture will shape the entire arc of your day. And now, as your consciousness stands tall and your spirit radiates clarity, a new kind of quiet begins to emerge within you. A quiet not of emptiness, but of fullness. It is the quiet that comes when the soul has remembered its source, when the mind has returned to its center, when the heart has surrendered to peace, when your entire being recognizes that today is not a battlefield, but a canvas. You are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into creation. This quiet is holy. This quiet is intelligence. This quiet is the still voice of God, moving through your awareness, shaping your intuition, guiding your steps. And in this sacred quiet, you begin to feel something subtle but unmistakable. You are not starting this day alone. You never have. You never will. You are accompanied by divine presence, by wisdom, by strength, by love, by the unseen currents of grace that surround you and carry you, even when you do not notice. Scripture says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. It was not a metaphor. It was a revelation of spiritual reality. Every morning, whether you acknowledge it or not, God rises with you. He walks into your day, has the intuition you feel, the peace you sense, the timing that aligns, the doors that open, the burdens that lift. But this morning, you are aware, you are listening, you are attuned. Your inner world has quieted enough to recognize His nearness. So now, in this state of calm readiness, speak inwardly. I am guided today. I am protected today. I am strengthened today. I am supported today. I am never alone. Let that truth rest in your chest, like a warm flame that cannot be extinguished. Because when you walk with God consciously, your steps become rooted in confidence. Your choices become aligned with wisdom. Your reactions become grounded in peace. You stop rushing. You stop forcing. You stop bracing yourself against challenges that may never come. You move with grace. You move with clarity. You move as someone who knows that the unseen world is working on your behalf. And this awareness does something remarkable. It dissolves fear. Fear has no oxygen. In the presence of divine identity, fear cannot survive. In the atmosphere of belief, fear cannot speak. When the heart is filled with truth. This is why mornings matter. Because fear tries to take root early, before your consciousness can anchor itself. But not today. Today, fear has no place. Today, anxiety has no authority. Today, doubt has no voice. Today, your identity is secure. Because today, you remembered who walks with you. Now feel your mind. Clear, steady, spacious. Feel the thoughts that once crowded your awareness begin to quiet down, like sediment settling in clear water. You do not need to control your thoughts. You only need to anchor your awareness in a higher truth. Thoughts bend to identity. Thoughts obey belief. Thoughts follow vibration. And your vibration right now is calm, centered, confident, open, aligned. Your mind is no longer a battlefield. It is a sanctuary. From this sanctuary, you will make decisions that reflect wisdom. You will respond to challenges with clarity. You will move through uncertainty with the knowing that God goes before you. Your grounded mind is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself today. Because when your mind is steady, your day becomes steady. When your mind is quiet, your spirit becomes loud. When your mind is clear, your intuition becomes unmistakable. You are no longer guided by fear-driven thinking. You are guided by higher knowing. This is the mind of Christ. This is what Scripture meant when it said, "Let this mind be in you." Not a mind of panic, but a mind of peace. Not a mind of limitation, but a mind of possibility. Not a mind of confusion, but a mind of divine clarity. This is the mind you carry now. This is the mind that will shape your day. And as we move toward the final sacred movement of this morning awakening, you will feel your entire being settle into deep acceptance of the life awaiting you today. And now, as your spirit rests in this field of peace, you are ready to receive the blessing that every morning carries, a blessing ancient, a blessing intimate, a blessing whispered into your being by the one who formed you, the one who walks with you, the one who calls you by name. Let this truth rise gently within you. Today is not happening by chance. Today is happening by design. Today is happening for you. You are not stepping into randomness. You are stepping into divine orchestration. Every person you meet, every opportunity that appears, every challenge that sharpens you, every blessing that unfolds, is part of a larger pattern, woven by hands far wiser than your own. So release the urge to control everything. Release the urge to predict everything. Release the urge to protect yourself from things that will never come to pass. Simply walk. Simply breathe. Simply trust. For the God who watches over galaxies watches over you. The God who aligned the stars aligns your steps. The God who raised the sun this morning is raising your spirit with it. This is the peace Christ spoke of, a peace that makes no sense to the world, a peace that remains even when circumstances shift, a peace rooted in identity, not condition, a peace that says, I walk with God today, so I have nothing to fear. Feel that in your bones. Feel it resting across your shoulders. Feel it softening the space around your heart. Feel it grounding your breath. This peace is your inheritance. This peace is your compass. This peace is your protection. This peace is your power. And now, from this peace, let us seal the day with intention, not as a hope, not as a wish, but as a declaration rooted in spiritual law. Repeat inwardly, with the gentle authority of one who knows. Today, I am aligned with God's plan. I was. Today, I move with clarity and purpose. Today, I walk in favor and opportunity. Today, I create from faith, not fear. Today, I embody the highest version of myself. Feel these words. Let them vibrate through your being. Let them become the inner architecture of your entire day. Because identity shapes belief. Belief shapes vibration. Vibration shapes reality. And reality shapes the path beneath your feet. You are stepping into this day, not as a passive observer, but as a conscious co-creator with the divine. And now, in the quiet of your heart, hear this final blessing, as though it is being spoken directly to you by the one who loves you most. My child, I go before you today. Every door you need will open. Every burden you carry will lift. Every step you take will be guided. Walk in peace. Walk in confidence. Walk in the truth of who you are. Let that truth be the seal upon your spirit. Let that truth carry you through the day. Let that truth whisper to you in every moment, in every decision, in every breath. You are ready now, ready to move, ready to shine, ready to create, ready to believe, ready to live from the deepest, truest part of yourself. Walk into this day with the quiet strength of one who knows that the inner world is aligned, the path is blessed, and God is with you in every step you take. This day is yours, not to fear, but to unfold. So rise now, slowly, deliberately, with awareness, with reverence, with peace, and let the world feel the presence of the awakened soul you have chosen to be. Amen.
You are pure consciousness, and everything you behold, every circumstance, every event, every condition in your life is but a shadow, a reflection of your own wonderful human imagination. The fact that you are here listening to these words at this very moment is no mere coincidence. It is a divine appointment orchestrated by the depths of your own being. You see, time as we know it is merely a concept created by consciousness to experience succession. In reality, all moments exist simultaneously in the eternal NOL. Therefore, when I tell you to trust the timing of this message, I am asking you to recognize that your own divine self, your own wonderful human imagination, has drawn you to this moment for a specific purpose. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you questioned the timing of events in your life? How often have you wondered why now or why not sooner? I tell you with absolute certainty that every moment is the perfect moment, for it is chosen by the God within you, your own wonderful human imagination. In the book of Ecclesiastes, it is written, to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. This is not speaking of some external force determining your timing. No, it is speaking of you, the operant power, choosing the perfect moment for your own awakening. The very fact that you are receiving this message today is proof that you are ready for it. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate this profound truth. You see, consciousness is the only reality. And as your consciousness expands, new truths become available to you. This is why you must trust the timing. Let me share with you a principle that I have tested countless times, and I invite you to test it for yourself. The principle is this: your outer world is nothing more than your inner world pushed out. Therefore, if this message has reached you today, it is because your inner world is ready for the transformation it contains. Many of you sit here wondering about your desires, your manifestations, your dreams. You question why they haven't materialized yet. But I tell you, timing is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens from you. You are the operant power. You are the one determining the timing through your state of consciousness. When you truly understand this principle, you will never again question the timing of anything in your life. You will know with unwavering certainty that everything unfolds in perfect divine order, your divine order. For you are God pushed out into expression, and God's timing is always perfect. Now, let me explain something that many find difficult to grasp. The time it takes for your desire to materialize in the physical world is directly proportional to the naturalness of the state you assume. When you truly inhabit the state of your wish fulfilled, when it becomes so natural that you cease to think about it, that is when it materializes. This is why you must trust the timing. For when you trust, you relax into the naturalness of your desired state. When you trust, you cease to wrestle with time. And in that cessation of struggle, your manifestation appears with a naturalness that makes you wonder why you ever doubted. Consider the growth of a seed planted in the ground. It doesn't fret about when it will become a tree. It doesn't compare its growth to other seeds. It simply rests in the certainty of its own unfolding. This is the level of trust you must cultivate in the timing of your own manifestations. You see, the outside world is dead. It has no power to determine when things happen in your life. It is your consciousness, your imagination, that gives life to everything you experience. Therefore, when this message reaches you, it is because your consciousness has drawn it to you at the perfect moment for your evolution. Let me share with you a profound truth that few understand. Time is not a barrier to your desires' fulfillment. Your concept of time is. When you truly grasp that all possibilities exist now, that all states are available now, you will cease to be a slave to time and become its master. The Bible tells us in the beginning was the Word. This beginning is not some distant past event. It is now. Every moment is the beginning. And in every moment you are speaking the word, imagining, that creates your reality. Therefore, trust that this moment, this Enodao, is the perfect beginning for whatever you desire to manifest. Many of you have been waiting for signs for the perfect moment to start living from your desired state. I tell you, the arrival of this message is your sign. The fact that you are hearing these words is your perfect moment. For in truth, there is no waiting, there is only accepting or rejecting the state you desire to occupy. Think about the times in your life when something arrived at what seemed like the perfect moment. Was it not true that your state of consciousness had shifted just before its arrival? This is the law operating with mathematical precision. Your state of consciousness determines the timing of everything in your life. When you understand this law, you will never again say, I'm not ready or it's not the right time. You will know that your consciousness is always ready, that every moment is the right time. For consciousness is the only reality. Consider how many times in your life you've looked back and understood why certain things happened when they did. This retroactive understanding is proof that there is a divine order to all things. An order that proceeds from your own wonderful human imagination. The great mystic Meister Eckhart said, the eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me. In the same way, the consciousness through which you perceive this message is the same consciousness that orchestrated its arrival in your experience. Therefore, trust it completely. You see, what appears to be timing is really the perfect synchronization between your state of consciousness and its outer manifestation. When you change your state of consciousness, the timing of events in your life changes automatically. This is why you must trust the timing of this message. It is evidence of your own inner transformation. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. The very doubt you might feel about the timing of things in your life is itself perfectly timed. For it is through doubting that you come to seek deeper understanding. And through seeking that you come to know the truth of who you really are. Remember the story of Joseph in the Bible. He was sold into slavery, imprisoned, and seemed to suffer many delays before his rise to power. But was any of it poorly timed? No. Every event was perfectly orchestrated to bring about the fulfillment of his divine destiny. Your life is no different. The secret is this. Instead of trying to time your manifestations, Allow your manifestations to time themselves through your unwavering faith in the law. When you do this, you will discover that everything happens at exactly the right moment. Not according to your limited human understanding, but according to the infinite wisdom of your divine self. Many of you have been told to be patient, to wait for the right time. But I tell you something different. There is no waiting in consciousness. The moment you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you have activated the divine timing. Your only task then is to persist in that state until it becomes your natural state of being. I think of it this way: when you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust the invisible process that transforms that seed into a mighty tree. Similarly, when you plant a desire in your consciousness, you must trust the invisible process that brings it into manifestation. This message reaching you today is like that seed being planted. It contains within it everything necessary for its full manifestation in your life. Your task is not to question the timing, but to nurture it with your faith and water it with your unwavering assumption that what you desire is already yours. The Bible tells us that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This faith is not a blind belief in future events. It is the present evidence of an existing reality in consciousness. When you have this faith, timing becomes irrelevant, because you know that what is yours in consciousness must manifest in your experience. Let me share with you a profound truth that has transformed countless lives. The timing of your manifestations is not determined by external conditions or circumstances. It is determined solely by the consistency of your assumption. When you consistently assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, divine timing takes over. You see, what appears to be delay is often divine preparation. Just as a mother carries her child for 9 months before birth, your desires are being carried in the womb of your consciousness until the perfect moment of their birth into physical reality. Trust this process implicitly. Consider how the entire universe operates with perfect timing. The rotation of the earth, the movement of the planets, the changing of the seasons. This same divine intelligence that orchestrates the cosmos is within you, timing the manifestation of your desires with equal precision. The very fact that you are receiving this message now is evidence of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate these truths. This is why you must trust the timing. It is a reflection of your own spiritual readiness. Remember, in the realm of consciousness, there is no past or future, only the eternal no. Therefore, the perfect timing for anything you desire is always now, provided you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is the secret of divine timing. Many of you struggle with what you call divine timing versus your timing. But I tell you, there is no difference. Your timing, I has divine timing, for you are the divinity you seek. The only thing that delays your manifestation is your belief in delay. When you truly understand that consciousness is the only reality, you will cease to concern yourself with timing altogether. For in consciousness, everything exists, no you. Your only task is to select the state you wish to occupy and persist in it until it becomes your reality. Let me tell you something that few understand. Time is not a factor in the fulfillment of your desires. It is your attitude toward time that determines when your desires will manifest. When you cease to be anxious about timing, divine timing naturally takes over. You see, anxiety about timing is a confession of lack of faith in the law. When you truly believe that what you have assumed in consciousness must manifest, you become indifferent to time. This indifference is the secret of perfect timing. Consider how a flower blooms. It doesn't force itself open, it unfolds naturally in its own perfect timing. Your desires manifest in the same way when you trust the process and allow them to unfold naturally according to the law of consciousness. The fact that this message has reached you today is proof that you are ready for this understanding. Your consciousness has drawn it to you at the perfect moment for your spiritual evolution. Trust this timing implicitly. Remember, everything in your life, every person, every circumstance, every event is drawn to you by your state of consciousness. Therefore, trust that your present state of consciousness has drawn this message to you for a divine purpose. Let me share with you a secret that will transform your understanding of timing. The interval between your desire and its manifestation is not a period of waiting. It is a period of preparation. During this interval, you are being prepared to receive what you have imagined. Many of you think that your manifestations are taking too long. But I tell you, nothing takes too long when you understand that time is simply the movement of events in consciousness. The only thing that can delay your manifestation is your own doubt and anxiety about its timing. You see, when you truly understand that consciousness is the only reality, you will know that timing is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens from you. Your state of consciousness determines the timing of everything in your life. Consider this: every desire you have ever fulfilled came at exactly the right moment. Not a moment too soon or too late. This is because your consciousness, which is God, knows the perfect timing for everything. Trust this divine wisdom within you. The very fact that you are hearing these words now is evidence of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate these profound truths. This is why you must trust the timing of this message. Remember, in the world of Caesar, the outer world, there appears to be time and space. But in the world of consciousness, the inner world, everything exists now. Your task is to bridge these worlds through your faithful assumption of the state of your wish fulfilled. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. The timing of your manifestations is not determined by your actions in the outer world, but by your assumption in the inner world. When your assumption is natural and unwavering, perfect timing follows automatically. You see, what appears to be delay is often divine protection. Just the fruit must ripen before it can be harvested. Your desires must ripen consciousness before they can manifest in your experience. Trust this ripening process implicitly. Consider how everything in nature has its own perfect timing. The gestation of a baby, the metamorphosis of a butterfly, the changing of the seasons. Your desires operate according to the same divine law of perfect timing. The fact that this message has reached you today is no accident. It is evidence of your own expanded consciousness drawing to you the very understanding you need at this moment. Trust this divine orchestration. Remember, you are not a helpless being waiting for the right time to receive your good. You are the operant power selecting the perfect timing through your state of consciousness. Trust this power within you. Many of you have been taught to believe in external timing, in luck, in chance, in fate. But I tell you, there is no external timing. There is only the timing that proceeds from your own wonderful human imagination. Let me share with you a truth that will set you free. The timing of your manifestations is not determined by conditions in the outer world, but by the consistency of your assumption in the inner world. When your assumption is unwavering, perfect timing follows naturally. You see, what appears to be waiting is really the operation of law. Just as a seed must go through a specific process before it becomes a tree, your desires must go through a specific process in consciousness before they manifest in experience. Consider how many times in your life something arrived at what seemed like just the right moment. Was this coincidence? No. It was the perfect operation of law. Your consciousness drawing to you exactly what you needed at exactly the right time. The very fact that you are receiving this understanding now is proof of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate these profound truths. Trust this expansion implicitly. Remember, in the realm of consciousness, there is no such thing as too early or too late. There is only the perfect know-all, in which all possibilities exist simultaneously. Your task is to select the state you wish to occupy and trust the timing of its manifestation. Let me tell you something that few understand. The interval between your desire and its manifestation is not empty time. It is filled with the invisible activity of consciousness, preparing the way for your desire's fulfillment. Trust this invisible activity. You see, when you truly understand that consciousness is the only reality, you will know that timing is not something that happens to you. It is something that proceeds from you. Your state of consciousness determines the timing of everything in your life. Consider the perfection of timing in your own life. How certain events had to happen in a specific order to bring you to where you are now. This same divine intelligence is at work in the timing of your current desires. The fact that this message has reached you today is evidence of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has drawn it to you at exactly the right moment for your spiritual evolution. Trust this divine orchestration completely. Remember, you are not subject to time. Time is subject to you. For you are pure consciousness, and consciousness is the only reality. Therefore, trust that your timing is always perfect, because it proceeds from your own divine self. Many of you worry about missed opportunities or lost time. But I tell you, in consciousness, there is no such thing as a missed opportunity or lost time. There is only the eternal Noel, in which all possibilities exist simultaneously. Let me share with you a profound truth. The timing of your manifestations is not determined by your efforts in the outer world, but by your ability to remain faithful to your assumption in the inner world. When your faith is unwavering, perfect timing follows naturally. You see, what appears to be delay is really the preparation of circumstances necessary for the fulfillment of your desire. Just as a mother carries her child for 9 months before birth, your desires must be carried in consciousness before their manifestation. Consider how everything in nature has its perfect timing: the blooming of a flower, the ripening of fruit, the changing of seasons. Your desires operate according to the same divine law of perfect timing. The very fact that you are hearing these words now is evidence of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate these profound truths. Trust this expansion implicitly. Remember, you are not waiting for the right time. You are creating the right time through your consciousness. For consciousness is the only reality, and everything in your world proceeds from it. Let me tell you something that will transform your understanding of timing. The interval between your desire and its manifestation is not a period of waiting. It is a period of becoming. During this interval, you are becoming the person who has what you desire. You see, when you truly understand that consciousness is the only reality, you will know that timing is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens through you. Your state of consciousness determines the timing of everything in your life. Consider how many times in your life divine timing has worked in ways you couldn't understand until later. This is because your higher self, your divine consciousness, knows the perfect sequence of events necessary for the fulfillment of your desires. The very resistance you feel to trusting timing is itself perfectly timed. For it is through this resistance that you come to understand the true nature of your own consciousness and its power to orchestrate all events in your life. Let me share with you a profound truth. There is no such thing as the right time or the wrong time in the absolute sense. There is only your conception of time, and this conception is determined by your state of consciousness. You see, what appears as timing in the outer world is really the movement of states in consciousness. When you move from one state to another in consciousness, the outer world must reorganize itself to reflect this movement. This reorganization appears as timing. Consider the story of Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt. Was there a wrong time or right time for their exodus? No, the timing was determined by their consciousness, by their readiness to leave the state of bondage and enter the state of freedom. The fact that you are receiving this message today is proof of this principle. Your consciousness has shifted to the point where you are ready to receive and integrate these truths. This is why you must trust the timing implicitly. Remember, everything in your world is yourself pushed out. Therefore, the timing of events in your life is not determined by external factors, but by the movements of your own consciousness. Many of you question why certain desires haven't manifested yet. But I tell you, the very questioning is evidence that you are not yet dwelling naturally in the state of fulfillment. For when you truly dwell in that state, all sense of timing dissolves. Let me share with you the ultimate secret of divine timing. It is not about waiting for the right moment. It is about assuming the right state. Now, when you do this, divine timing takes care of itself. You see, in the realm of consciousness, there is no future to wait for and no past to regret. There is only the eternal know-how in which all possibilities exist simultaneously. Your task is to select the state you wish to occupy, no doubt. Consider how a master artist knows exactly when to apply each brushstroke. This knowing doesn't come from external timing. It comes from an inner sense of rightness. Your manifestations work in the same way. The very fact that you are hearing these words now is evidence of this perfect artistic timing. Your consciousness has drawn them to you at exactly the right moment for your spiritual evolution. Remember, you are not a victim of time. You are its master. For you are pure consciousness, and consciousness is the only reality. Therefore, trust that your timing is always perfect, because it proceeds from your own divine self. As we conclude this message, I want you to understand something profound. The timing of its arrival in your life is not accidental. It is a direct reflection of your expanded consciousness, your readiness to receive these truths. You see, consciousness is eternal, existing outside of time and space. Therefore, when you operate from consciousness rather than from the limited perspective of the outer world, you align yourself with perfect divine timing. Trust then that this message has reached you today, because today is the perfect day for your consciousness to expand into this understanding. Trust that every desire in your heart is unfolding to divine timing, your divine timing. For you are the operant power, the divine presence, expressing itself through the vehicle of your human imagination. Trust this power implicitly, for it knows the perfect timing for all things. And now, as we bring this message to its close, remember this eternal truth. You are not bound by time. You are the creator of time. You are not waiting for the right moment. You are the creator of all moments. Therefore, trust the timing of this message. Trust the timing of your desires. Trust the timing of your life. For all timing proceeds from consciousness, and consciousness is who you really are. Now go forth in this understanding, knowing that every moment is the right moment when you dwell in the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. For timing is not your master, you are the master of timing. And that, my beloved friends, is the perfect truth of perfect timing. Remember, the very fact that you remain to hear this message to its conclusion is evidence of your readiness to receive its truth. Trust this divine orchestration, for it proceeds from the depths of your own being. For in truth, there is only one time, the eternal now thou. And in this NOU, you are already all that you desire to be. Trust this, live from this, and watch as divine timing unfolds perfectly in your life.
For too long, society has taught us to be nice. We are encouraged to be polite, considerate, and accommodating, to put others' needs before our own. But the truth is, being a nice guy often leads to frustration, resentment, and the loss of personal boundaries. It's time to stop being a nice guy, because being overly nice can sometimes be a form of self-sacrifice. And when you sacrifice yourself for the sake of others, you lose your own sense of identity. You become so caught up in trying to please everyone that you forget who you are and what you stand for. Being a nice guy often comes with the expectation of validation or rewards, but life doesn't work that way. The world doesn't owe you anything just because you're kind. In fact, people often take advantage of your niceness. You give and give, but what do you get in return? If you've ever felt taken for granted, it's because being a nice guy doesn't always earn respect or appreciation. Instead, it breeds dependency and manipulation. When you're too eager to please, you may find that you are constantly putting out the needs of others while neglecting your own desires. It's not about turning into someone rude or inconsiderate. It's about setting boundaries, taking ownership of your life, and choosing to prioritize your well-being. You don't have to say yes to everything just because it's the nice thing to do. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say no. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person, it makes you a person who knows their limits, who respects themselves enough to protect their time and energy. Being a nice guy can also be a defense mechanism. It's a way of hiding behind a mask of kindness so that others won't see your vulnerabilities. But true strength doesn't come from hiding behind an image, it comes from embracing who you really are. If you're constantly worried about what others think of you, you'll never be free. You have to stop living for the approval of others. The moment you stop being a nice guy and start living for yourself, you step into your own power. Understand that being kind is important, but kindness is not about being a doormat. You don't have to constantly put others before yourself at the expense of your happiness or your goals. The truth is, you can still be compassionate, loving, and generous without compromising your values or your needs. It's about finding balance and learning to say no when you need to. Stop letting the label of being a nice guy define you. Realize that being authentic, assertive, and self-respecting is not only a healthier way to live, but also a more fulfilling one. When you stop bending over backward for the approval of others, you make room for the things that truly matter: your own growth, your dreams, your purpose. So stop being a nice guy and start being the person you were always meant to be. For far too long, society has conditioned us to believe that being nice is the only way to succeed and to be liked. We've been told that kindness, compliance, and accommodating others' needs are the hallmarks of a good person. From childhood, we are taught to play by the rules, to be polite, to smile in the face of discomfort, to say yes even when it means sacrificing our own peace. Over time, we internalize this expectation of being nice to the point where we think it is the only way to be accepted or loved. But in reality, being a nice guy can often hold us back from reaching our full potential and living a life that's truly aligned with our values and desires. When we spend too much time focusing on others' needs at the expense of our own, we lose ourselves. We become trapped in a cycle where we prioritize making others happy, hoping that they will return the favor. But what happens when that doesn't occur? What happens when your kindness is taken for granted or manipulated? What happens when your niceness becomes a weakness, a tool for others to use against you? You find yourself drained, resentful, and disconnected from your own passions and goals. This is not a sustainable or fulfilling way to live. It's time to recognize that being nice doesn't mean you have to be a pushover. You don't have to be the one who constantly says yes to every request, who constantly overextends themselves, or who feels guilty for setting boundaries. In fact, the most loving thing you can do for both yourself and others is to stop being a nice guy in the traditional sense. Being overly nice isn't real kindness, it's a form of self-suppression. A way of hiding your true self in order to please others. It's a defense mechanism, a mask you wear to avoid confrontation, rejection, or judgment. But behind that mask is the real you, the person with dreams, desires, and a right to be heard. True kindness, the kind that comes from strength and authenticity, requires courage. It requires the ability to say no when you need to, the confidence to stand up for what you believe in, and the wisdom to recognize when your niceness is being used to manipulate or take advantage of you. You don't have to be a doormat to be kind. In fact, being a doormat is a betrayal to your own soul. It's a denial of your worth, your needs, and your individuality. When you're constantly giving to others without receiving in return, you are allowing your energy to be drained, and you are neglecting the things that matter most to you. You are not responsible for everyone else's happiness. You are not here to live for others, to serve their needs without regard for your own. You are here to live your life with purpose, to pursue your own dreams, to honor your own truth. And to do that, you must stop being the nice guy who says yes to everything, who sacrifices their own peace for the sake of others, who bends over backward in hopes of gaining approval. You must learn to set boundaries, to be unapologetic about your needs, and to embrace your power. Being a nice guy often comes from a place of insecurity or fear. You're afraid of conflict, afraid of being disliked, afraid of rejection. But the truth is, trying to please everyone only leads to frustration and emptiness. When you're constantly seeking validation from others, you place your happiness in their hands. You become dependent on their approval, and when you don't get it, you feel worthless or unimportant. This is a dangerous cycle that keeps you stuck, trapped in a state of perpetual pleasing and never truly feeling good enough. If you want to break free from this cycle, you have to change your mindset. You have to stop living for others and start living for yourself. You have to believe that you are enough just as you are, that your value isn't dependent on how much you give or how many people you please. You don't need to be constantly nice to be worthy of love and respect. The people who truly care about you will appreciate you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. True relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and understanding, not on the endless performance of niceness. You don't have to say yes to every request, and you don't have to put yourself last in order to be a good person. In fact, it's impossible to be good to others when you're not good to yourself. If you constantly neglect your own needs, you will eventually burn out, and then you'll have nothing left to give. It's like trying to pour water from an empty cup. You can't take care of others if you're not taking care of yourself first. So it's time to stop being a nice guy and start being a strong, self-respecting individual who knows when to say no, who knows when to take a step back, and who knows when to put themselves first. People may try to guilt trip you into doing things for them, but you don't have to fall for it. You don't owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your own well-being. You don't need to feel guilty for saying no, and you don't need to feel ashamed for not always being the one to help. Saying no isn't selfish, it's an act of self-care. It's an affirmation of your own worth and a declaration that you respect yourself enough to honor your time, energy, and boundaries. As you stop being the nice guy, you'll start to notice a shift in your life. You'll start to feel more empowered, more in control of your own destiny. You'll begin to attract people who respect your boundaries and value you for who you truly are. When you stop bending over backward for others, you make room for relationships that are genuine and fulfilling. You'll no longer be giving away your energy to people who take you for granted. Instead, you'll be investing in people who uplift and support you in return. This doesn't mean you stop being kind. It doesn't mean you stop being compassionate or caring. It means you stop being nice in the way that leads to self-sacrifice and resentment. You can still be kind and loving, but you must do so from a place of strength and self-respect, not from a place of fear or insecurity. You can still help others, but you must do so without compromising your own peace or your own needs. You can still be generous, but you must be discerning about where and how you give. In your relationships, you'll find that true connection comes when you show up as your authentic self, not when you try to be someone you think others want you to be. People respect honesty, vulnerability, and strength. They appreciate those who are willing to speak up for themselves, who aren't afraid to set boundaries, and who aren't afraid to say no when necessary. Being a nice guy might make you appear agreeable in the short term, but it won't earn you lasting respect or fulfillment. Respect is earned through integrity, self-respect, and authenticity. It's time to step into your own power. It's time to stop living in fear of rejection or disapproval. It's time to stop being a nice guy and start being the person you were meant to be, someone who knows their worth, who stands up for their needs, and who refuses to settle for anything less than what they deserve. When you stop being a nice guy, you stop sacrificing your peace, your happiness, and your dreams for others. You start living a life that is true to who you are, and that's the only life worth living. When you begin to stop being the nice guy, something profound happens. You begin to realize the energy you've been giving away to others is energy you should be channeling back into your own life. You begin to reclaim the parts of yourself that were lost in the hustle of trying to please everyone else. No longer will you be caught in the trap of seeking external validation, because you will realize that true validation comes from within. The need to please others becomes less important, because your sense of self-worth doesn't depend on how well you cater to the desires and expectations of the people around you. You stop seeking permission from others to be yourself, and you start giving yourself the permission to be authentically you. Many times, the nice guy falls into the trap of trying to avoid conflict at all costs. This fear of conflict is one of the primary reasons that people suppress their true selves. In an attempt to keep the peace, you might ignore your own feelings, opinions, and desires. This might make you feel good in the short term, but in the long run it leads to frustration, resentment, and burnout. The avoidance of conflict does not create peace, rather. It creates a simmering tension within that eats away at your sense of personal integrity. There's a deep inner conflict that arises when you silence your truth in order to maintain a facade of niceness. You have to understand that conflict is not inherently bad. In fact, it's necessary for growth and self-discovery. Conflict provides the opportunity to assert yourself, to defend your boundaries, and to express your true feelings. When you avoid conflict, you are essentially allowing others to define your reality. You are handing over your power in exchange for a false sense of harmony. But this so-called harmony is a shallow substitute for the peace that comes from living in alignment with your true self. Real peace is not the absence of conflict, it is the ability to navigate conflict from a place of strength and self-assurance. When you stop being a nice guy, you begin to trust yourself. You trust that you know what's best for you, and you trust that you have the ability to handle whatever comes your way. You stop second-guessing your decisions in fear of upsetting others, and you start making decisions based on what feels right for you. You stop apologizing for your needs, and you stop feeling guilty for taking up space in the world. When you begin to trust yourself, you also start to trust others. You no longer feel the need to control or manipulate the people around you to maintain a sense of security. You learn that other people's reactions are out of your control, and that's okay. You can still love and respect them without compromising your own values. The shift from being the nice guy to being someone who respects their own boundaries is not always easy. The people around you may resist this change. They might push back because they are used to the old you who would do anything to keep them happy. But that's the thing about boundaries, they require everyone involved to adapt. People who truly care about you will respect your boundaries, and those who don't will fall away. This can be a painful process, especially if it means letting go of relationships or situations that no longer serve you. But in the end, it's worth it. Because when you begin to set boundaries, you begin to attract people who value you for who you truly are, not for what you can do for them. The more you practice standing up for yourself and saying no when necessary, the more you'll realize that you don't need to apologize for existing. Your worth isn't contingent on your ability to please others. You are worthy because you are you. You are deserving of respect, of love, and of space in this world simply because you exist. And when you fully embrace this truth, you stop shrinking yourself to fit into the expectations of others. You stop living a life dictated by the opinions, desires, and demands of those around you. You start living your life according to your own values, your own vision, and your own purpose. Being a nice guy often involves putting yourself last, trying to meet the needs of everyone around you while neglecting your own. But when you stop being nice in this way, you start to realize that your needs are just as important as anyone else's. Your dreams are just as valid, and your desires deserve to be fulfilled. You are not a servant to the whims of others, you are the creator of your own reality. You have the right to create a life that is meaningful, fulfilling, and authentic to you. When you stop being a nice guy, you stop living in reaction to the world around you. Instead, you begin to live with intention. You start to make choices that are in alignment with your goals, your values, and your purpose. No longer will you feel like you're just going along with whatever comes your way. You take the reins of your life into your own hands, and you make decisions based on what is best for you, not based on what will make others like you. This kind of empowerment comes from a deep understanding of your own worth and your own desires. It comes from the recognition that you are the only one who gets to decide how you show up in the world. At first, this shift may feel uncomfortable. You might feel guilty or unsure when you start saying no or when you begin to assert your boundaries. It's normal to feel a sense of discomfort when you break away from old patterns. But over time, as you begin to see the positive impact that setting boundaries has on your life, you'll realize that the discomfort is worth it. You will feel a sense of liberation and empowerment as you reclaim your energy and your time. You will no longer feel drained, overwhelmed, or resentful, because you will have learned how to honor yourself in the same way you honor others. The process of letting go of the nice guy persona is a journey of self-discovery and self-love. It's about learning to trust your own judgment, to value your own needs, and to stand firm in your convictions. It's about realizing that you don't have to be everything to everyone. You can be yourself unapologetically and authentically, and still attract the people and experiences that align with your truth. You don't have to change who you are to be loved or accepted. You just have to stop hiding behind the mask of niceness and start showing up as the real, unfiltered version of yourself. It's important to remember that this doesn't mean you should be rude or disrespectful to others. Being kind is still essential. It's just about finding the balance between kindness for others and kindness for yourself. You can be a compassionate, caring, and generous person, but you don't have to sacrifice your happiness or your peace in the process. Being a nice guy, in the traditional sense, often involves overgiving, saying yes when you want to say no, ignoring your own feelings in favor of others, and compromising your boundaries to avoid conflict. But true kindness involves honoring your own needs while still being considerate of others. As you stop being a nice guy and start embracing your authentic self, you will find that your relationships become more fulfilling. You will attract people who respect your boundaries and who love you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. You will begin to experience deeper, more meaningful connections because you will no longer be hiding behind a facade. Instead, you will be showing up as your true self. And that is the most powerful thing you can offer the world. As you continue on this journey, remember that it's not about being mean or selfish. It's about learning to honor yourself and your needs just as much as you honor the needs of others. It's about creating balance in your life and refusing to settle for anything less than what you truly deserve. So stop being the nice guy who sacrifices his own happiness for the sake of others. Start being the person who values himself, who sets boundaries, and who chooses to live authentically, unapologetically, and confidently. Your life will transform, and you will begin to attract the people, opportunities, and experiences that align with your true purpose. When you stop being the nice guy, the process is not just about changing your behavior, it's about shifting your mindset and your approach to life. The shift is about moving from a place of seeking external approval to a place of internal validation. Many of us, especially those who tend to play the role of the nice guy, spend our lives trying to gain acceptance, trying to make sure others are happy, all at the expense of our own happiness and well-being. This is often done out of a fear of rejection, a desire for love, or a need to feel valuable to others. But when you stop being the nice guy, you start to break free from these chains. You stop seeking others' approval because you start realizing that your approval, your self-worth, and your self-love are what matter most. In this transformation, you begin to discover who you truly are without the need to please everyone, without the fear of conflict, and without the constant worry about how you are being perceived. You become more in tune with your own desires, your own emotions, and your own needs. This is liberating. It's empowering. You no longer live life on the terms of others, but on your own terms. You begin to understand that the love and respect you seek from others must first come from within you. You cannot be truly loved or respected by others until you love and respect yourself first. As you embrace this new mindset, it may feel like you are breaking some kind of unspoken social contract. You may feel guilt or shame for putting yourself first. especially if you've been conditioned to always put others' needs ahead of your own. You may worry about disappointing people, about being judged, or about being labeled as selfish. But here's the truth: being self-centered in a healthy way is not selfish. It is self-care. It is self-respect. It is recognizing your inherent worth and treating yourself as the valuable, worthy person you are. And when you do this, you not only elevate your own life, but you also show others how to respect themselves and prioritize their own needs as well. When you stop being a nice guy, you will realize that your time is precious. You will no longer let people waste your time or energy. You stop saying yes when you want to say no. And you stop going along with things simply because it's easier than standing up for what you really want or believe. You learn to say no with confidence and without guilt, because you understand that saying yes to others at the cost of your own well-being only leads to resentment, burnout, and frustration. The people who truly respect you will understand and appreciate your boundaries, and those who don't are not people you need in your life. You stop wasting your time on relationships or situations that drain you, and you begin to focus on what nurtures and nourishes your soul. Another powerful shift that comes from no longer being the nice guy is the development of your self-respect. The nice guy is often seen as someone who bends over backward to please others, but this act is often rooted in a lack of self-respect. You cannot truly respect others if you don't respect yourself first. When you stop being the nice guy, you begin to set clear standards for how you expect to be treated. You begin to stand up for yourself when others try to take advantage of you, and you stop tolerating disrespect. Your standards for yourself and others rise, and as a result, you attract people into your life who treat you with the same respect you now give yourself. You start to attract higher quality relationships, ones that are based on mutual respect, equality, and shared values. Your interactions with others shift from being transactional to being authentic and meaningful. Your confidence will also increase as a result of this transformation. The nice guy often lacks confidence because his sense of self-worth is tied to how others perceive him or how much he can do for others. But once you stop being the nice guy, you start to realize that you have value simply because you exist. Your self-worth is not determined by what you do for others or how well you fulfill their needs. You begin to recognize that you are worthy of success, love, and happiness, just as you are. This new understanding of your worth gives you the confidence to pursue your goals, to make bold decisions, and to step into your power. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into other people's expectations, and you start showing up in life as the fullest, most authentic version of yourself. The more you stop being the nice guy, the more you will realize that your happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances or other people's opinions. You begin to cultivate a sense of inner peace and contentment that comes from being true to yourself, from living a life that aligns with your values, and from respecting your own needs and desires. You no longer feel the need to be constantly busy, constantly doing things for others, or constantly sacrificing your own well-being in order to make others happy. You start to live life for you, and this shift in focus is not only liberating, but it also attracts more of what you truly want into your life. When you focus on your own happiness and fulfillment, you create space for greater abundance, love, and joy. One of the most freeing aspects of no longer being the nice guy is that you begin to stop seeking approval from others. The nice guy often lives in fear of being criticized, rejected, or judged. As a result, he becomes a chameleon, adapting to whatever people want or expect in order to fit in. But when you stop being the nice guy, you let go of this need for approval. You no longer care what others think of you because you know who you are, and you stand firm in your own identity. You are no longer trying to be liked or accepted by everyone because you realize that not everyone will like you, and that's okay. You don't need everyone's approval to feel good about yourself. You only need your own approval. This doesn't mean you should become cold or indifferent to others. You don't have to be rude or inconsiderate. It's about finding the balance between being kind to others and being kind to yourself. It's about respecting your own needs and boundaries while still being compassionate and caring toward others. True kindness comes from a place of strength and self-respect, not from weakness or people-pleasing. When you stop being the nice guy, you stop enabling people to take advantage of you or treating you as if your needs are secondary to theirs. You become stronger, more assertive, and more compassionate at the same time. You will also start to attract the right people into your life when you stop being the nice guy. Instead of attracting people who take advantage of you or who only seek to use you, you will begin to draw in people who respect you for who you are and who value you for the things that make you unique. You will find that your relationships become deeper, more authentic, and more fulfilling. You no longer have to chase after people's affection or approval, because you know that the right people will come to you when you show up as your true, authentic self. As you continue to evolve into the person who no longer feels the need to please everyone, you will start to notice a shift in how you view yourself. You will begin to see yourself as powerful, worthy, and deserving of everything good that life has to offer. You will no longer settle for mediocrity or for relationships that drain you. You will set higher standards for yourself and for the people you allow into your life. You will become someone who commands respect not because you demand it, but because you live in alignment with your values and your truth. This journey of stopping being the nice guy is not a one-time event, but a continual process of self-discovery and growth. It's about letting go of old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve you and embracing the power of self-respect, self-love, and authenticity. It's about standing in your truth, no matter how uncomfortable or difficult that may feel at times. As you continue to embrace this new way of living, you will find that the world begins to shift in your favor. You will attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right experiences into your life because you are no longer trying to force or manipulate anything. You are simply showing up as yourself, and that is more than enough. In conclusion, the journey of stopping being the nice guy is not about becoming callous or unkind. It's about reclaiming your personal power, respecting your own boundaries, and prioritizing your own happiness. It's about letting go of the need for constant approval and realizing that your worth is not determined by how much you give to others or how much you sacrifice yourself. The shift comes from understanding that true strength lies in being authentic, in standing firm in your own identity, and in recognizing that you are worthy of respect and love just as you are. As you stop being the nice guy, you free yourself from the constraints of people-pleasing and self-sacrifice. You begin to live a life that is driven by your own desires, values, and aspirations. You attract healthier, more fulfilling relationships, and you experience deeper satisfaction in everything you do. You realize that self-respect, self-love, and personal fulfillment are not selfish, they are essential to your well-being and to the relationships you cultivate with others. The power to change, to stop being the nice guy, lies within you. It starts with recognizing your inherent value, setting healthy boundaries, and treating yourself with the same kindness and respect that you would offer others. When you take control of your own life and stop living for the approval of others, you unlock a sense of freedom, empowerment, and self-worth that will transform every aspect of your life. So step into your power, honor yourself, and live as the true, authentic person you were always meant to be.